Hi Teaquilters, it's T with Teaquilts, and today is Wednesday. Woo! Okay. Wednesday, February 18th, 2026, and we're here for live chat today. Okay. Let me get this volume down. Okay, I forgot I was using this at retreat. And skip that. And now we're going to pause. Yeah. Live chat. All right. So hopefully everybody had a great weekend. I am still recovering, so I'm sleepy today. Did a road trip yesterday. I'll talk about that in a minute. What else? Yeah, I don't know. I got so much on my to-do list, I can't remember what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out something. I need to design an electric quilt. I know what I need to do, but then I keep forgetting a step or two, and then I have to go back and start over. So, I just got a lot in my head right now. Dorsey Zavali is here, reminding you all to give a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Also, check out the Facebook page, Teaquilts LLC. Make sure that you answer those 4 questions so that you receive so that you gain admissions. I'm trying to keep scammers and spammers out of the group. Also, we're live here Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and also on Saturdays from 8 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we have a live sew and chat. As well as I have a mystery quilt that we're also working on. We got the second sewing installment this month. January, you got your supply list and your first sewing installment, so go back and check the YouTube videos. I do have a playlist for the mystery at this point. The mystery will not stay up once it's over. It'll be gone in 30 days after it's over. So if you are wanting to do this mystery, you need to at least watch the videos, write down what you need to do. There are not any written instructions. So if you want to do this mystery quilt, make sure that you go over there to the playlist, Spectacular 16 Mystery. And that's where you will find the video instructions. Again, there are not any written instructions. Whoops. I didn't bring my... I took my stand to retreat and I haven't brought everything back in. So we're going to be sliding around today. Sue says the magic number is 146. That's the number of days it is to Retreat Reunion 2026. It is July 14th. It starts on a Tuesday, goes through Sunday. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. I'm trying to get ready. That's what the road trip was. So we'll talk about that. Brenda Foley is here. Deborah Sims Brown, Dee Branson, that's Donette, and Remo JS. Also reminding you all to hit the thumbs up button. So while I'm doing the shout outs, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button for me, please. I would really, really appreciate it. I see 16 of you have done it, and I appreciate your thumbs up. Sharon Lewis is here, Jester Creative Space, Sheila Willis, Francis Jackson, Wanda Jamerson, Tony Pressure. Let's see, who else? Claudette Hall, Quilting Cynthia, saying that her rent is paid, meaning that she has hit the thumbs up button. Have you? Hit it for me, please. Photo Kevin is here. Dolores Phelps is here. June Hansen. Sharon, I ain't finna play with you. Talking about Kevin. Are you ready? T definitely looks ready. All right. So today, talk and chat or live chat today is basically just finishing off, because I did all the other videos of the steps on the Poppins bag. I almost forgot the name of the bag. The Poppins bag, which the page is up here. I just want to finish off the bottom, even though I talked about it in the retreat video. Also, I tried going live at retreat, was having some difficulties with their networks. They've made some changes that I can see, and so I'm sure that they've made some other changes that we can't see, and I'm wondering if they've got it where we can only use the live, go live in video, like for like 45 minutes, because it cut off at that point. And so I was trying to do a test of that. That's why I wasn't live when we did show and tell. And indeed, it did cut off in about 44 minutes on that video. So I don't know how we're going to be doing videos in the future. It's going to be interesting. So I'm going to have to figure all of that out at some point. Or we may not be having any live videos at retreat at Mercy Center in the future. So we're going to have to figure all of that part out. But I had difficulty all weekend using that network for some reason, and I never had difficulty using it in the past. Benita Nance is here, has come in, and I think that's the only one that's new, if I'm not mistaken, that has commented in the chat. So we're going to talk about what? Oh, retreat loot. I want to show that. That's what's up here is retreat loot. And then I bought some stuff. It's nothing fantastic to write home about because I wasn't trying to spend a whole lot of money out on the road yesterday. So, yeah. And then retreat loot, the bag, that. I think that's it. I got a couple things off of Amazon. I just thought that I would share with you. All right. So, what's up first? Number one, what was yesterday? Kevin and I went on a road trip to Central and South Missouri so that we could do a route for Shop Hop. I was wanting to do the North Missouri into Iowa Shop Hop, but that's just going to take too much time to get going 4 hours out without a stop or having to come back. That I did the driving and it was like 8 hours of driving just to get to that one stop, whereas the whole entire Missouri, Central Missouri to Southern Missouri route was 6.5 hours of driving for all the entire route from my house. It's going to be a little different because it'll be going from the center, but it just didn't make sense with the amount of drive time that it was going to have on the other route. So I don't know how we're going to do that. If we did that, we would only be doing 1, maybe 2 shops at the most if I did that other route. And I have to pay. I'm already paying overtime because our trips are already over 8 hours, as you can see by the drive times. And so I already pay extra money for the bus. And so, yeah. And then they add in gratuity they say they add in gratuity, but I've learned that it doesn't go to the bus driver. They say that, but then it goes to the company and then they decide who's going to get what of the gratuity, and hardly any of it goes to the bus driver. By the time the company takes their part, the bus cleaner get their part, and whoever else is getting a part, probably the scheduler, and then the bus driver. So yeah, so it's always controversial. These trips, it's not like I can verify, what the cost is. And so, because there's only a limited number of bus driving companies in this area that do the type of thing that we want to do, because a lot of the companies will make us do an overnight for that type of a trip. So I'm trying to, stay with this one company, and I'm trying to keep it so that it's affordable because of the time that we have that bus out. So if you all don't know, for people that haven't attended retreat, we mostly leave about 5:30 a.m. in the morning. And so it's a long day. We get back somewhere between 8 to 9 p.m. at night. So that bus driver had to go to Illinois, first of all, to pick up the bus and then come back. And most of those bus drivers live in Missouri. The last 3 that I've had have lived in Missouri. And they had to go into Illinois, get the bus, come back. So they're up at 4 o'clock in the morning or earlier trying to go get the bus. So it's a lot. It's a process. Hi, Vivian. Calvi. I don't know who else came in. Suzette Peterkin Denton is here. Someone with a dream. Francis said, I saw you bumping in the car with Kevin. Was in the car was Kevin with you? Kevin is the one that's the culprit putting the stuff on Facebook. Okay. Hi, Janice Miller. Welcome to the chat. Minnie Dula. So we're going to end up doing the central. So we're going back to Apple Tree for those that have been here in 2024. We're going back to Apple Tree Quilt Shop, and then that's in Columbia, Missouri. Then we're going to, and I don't know where these other places are, so I don't even know why I started. And then we've got Hunter's Sewing Mart. And then we're going to go in, I don't know what part of Missouri that is. I forgot right now. Kevin will tell y'all in the chat if he's so interested. And then we're going to Stover, Missouri. And there's really only one store in Stover that I want to take you all to, but I want to take you to the other store. It's not a place that has a whole lot of fabric, but I just want you all to see the history of that store. And unfortunately, that store was not open yesterday. And I slept long and hard today from all the driving I did yesterday. And then I had other things that I had to do when I did wake up. So I did not get a chance to call that store because I wanted you all to see the first rendition of long arm machine quilting, and I want to see if she would be willing to talk to us about that and then hook that system up so that you all can see it, because the last time, every other time that we've been there, it's been set up. And then the last time I went there in September, it was taken apart. There was no machine on it. The system was there, but there was no machine. So I'm going to see if it's possible for her to hook up a machine onto it so that you all can see it. But if not, you'll understand the history of long arm quilting. And then it actually did start in Missouri. There is about 3 or 4 companies, although one company wants you to think that they're the only one. But when we get to the second store, I'll have that owner talk to you about the contributions of like 4 different people, 4 different groups. That's why there is no copyright infringement when Gammo and Knolting looks the same. And there's also a system called New Style. And I can't remember the 4th name that she said right now. I think it was 4. But we'll get you all the history on long arm quilting machines that actually started here in the state of Missouri. And I just didn't want you all to, it's not like it's super fantastic, but it's like a part of history that nobody else has or knows about. And I wanted you all to at least be able to see it. Michelle the Quilter, welcome to the chat. Ken, welcome. Diane McCoy, welcome. Helena, welcome. And I think that's it. I can't stand Kevin. All right. So I don't know. Did I move those bags over here? I don't even think so. The bags are at my door. So I'll move the bags after I'll show you what I bought on the shop hop, which isn't a lot. But so I'll just start with what's up here. we're going to go to retreat loot. This was our name tag. Right here. And for the, if you did not have a collar, this did not work very well because it had to go like this. If you put your name tag on, I'm trying to get it so you all can see it without messing with my mic. Now it's going to lay here. But every time everybody at retreat tried to put this on a t-shirt, it flew up in the air. And of course, on live right now, it's laying nice and flat. But yeah, we didn't even wear these the weekend. But, they're cute. I'll just put it up on my wall. Mine's did come apart. I think I'm going to see if I can get some wood glue or something to make this metal stick. Because it did pop off once. And I have a feeling if it popped off once, it's going to pop off again. Because it looked real suspect. But I'll see if wood glue will hold it. All right. Valentine's Day was the weekend as well. And one lady, I think it was Kathy, the retreat coordinator. This was like from her. She had multiple different types of pens. So I just got this XO, and it's like a cupcake pen cushion. So that's why I got that one. And then on the back side, it has some Hershey's Kisses in it. So that was cool. Jason was working in the shop, the quilt shop, and they gave out heart cookies. So he brought me 2 of those. I didn't even eat them. I didn't even notice that they had sprinkles on them. I'm not a sprinkles eater. For some reason, I just don't like. I have issues with texture, so that's just something I don't like. This is all loot from retreat. Feline Friends. They had different Villa Rosa patterns, and this was just the one that I got. By the time I got to the table, because they just put out there, and you kind of get what you got. This one is a bookmark, and we have 2 different types of bookmarks. We got this one, and we also got this one here that you can put around the pages where you want to open your book. So you have some elastic ribbon here. It's not elastic ribbon. This is elastic. It's the foldable kind, but it ain't folded. But you put this on the outside of your book, and then you put your pen. You got another spot over here you can do that too. So they gave us that. Somebody gave us, I don't know what's in here. Is it chapstick or? I see Tic Tacs. Let's open it up. It's all cute and pretty. So let me show you before I destroy it. All right. It looks like Tic Tacs, and I want to say a little miniature chapstick, but I've never seen a chapstick that small. So that's why we're going to open it up. See what's in here. Tic Tacs, and it is lip balm. Okay, I thought so. It's the littlest one I've ever seen. And a Hershey's Kisses. So that's cool. All right, showed that. So I'm going to put all of this stuff back in here. Okay, so I got 4 more things to show you. Got a pin cushion. Has the churn dash block. I actually gave this pattern to somebody, and they're on the committee. And I did not want them to do this, but that's what they did, because I planned on doing something else with it in the future. But yeah, this is also made so that you can put your creative grids 2.5 by 4 or 1.5 by 2.5 rulers in here too, if you want to do that with it. We also got a little scissor fob. And we got our initials. Somebody made these. I don't know who made them, out of the Scrabble tiles. And then we have quite a few people now in the guild that have laser printers. And some of the girls are making lots of stuff. So this looks like a cup. You could use it like a cup, but this is when you're doing this is not laser. What do you call it? When you do the plastic stuff. Anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. They make this stuff and it's made out of plastic that's non-food grade, so you can't really drink out of this. And it was so funny because people immediately wanted to use it as a cup, but it's really a thimble. If you turn it upside down and you want to use it as a whatnot, or you can use it as a cup to put some of your stuff in. So that's that. The other thing that was made was there's a rotary blade inside of this. This was also made that way, where you're using the plastic stuff to make stuff. And it has a rotary blade in here that you can use to cut your chain piecing. And it is nice that it does sit up by itself too. And I think you can take this out, yes. And then you can rotate your blade if it's getting dull. But I'm like, you're just cutting thread chain, so you're not going to have to do that too much. And then you could also take this out and use it as a business card stand if you want, I guess. It seemed like it would work. But yeah, isn't that cute? Cute, cute, cute. And the last thing that was made on the 3D printers, that's what I'm trying to say, is this case that's a button tin, and it has a little groove that was etched in that they put the little baby rick rack, and then had the space to glue in the actual button. So that was cute. And then on the inside, you can use the dividers or take it out. They actually put a divider in here. It's got 4 dividers. I'm trying to hold it so that it doesn't fall out. But I thought these were really pretty. They did an excellent job on you know, on the retreat gifts. And people, I don't know if they got paid or if they just did it out of the goodness of their heart, but they doing an excellent job with these 3D printers. So that's really cool. Hi Zandra, welcome to the chat. Sylvia Dickens, welcome as well. Holly Duvall, Delia Short. Oh, I think I got everybody else, I think. Yeah. So that was Retreat Loot, and I think they did a very good job with that. I'm going to end up making this stuff fall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back in the bag until I get ready to put it up somewhere, because we don't want any happy accidents. I already got to work myself. I got the big old Poppins bag full of my retreat stuff. I did not take it out, so it's blocking my way because I got the bench here too. All right. One other, I did get from the free table, I got a McCall's Quilting magazine from September 2015. But I saw some stuff in here that I thought I might like to do, but I just got that one. So this is the cover of the magazine. They had a whole lot of magazines up there. I was not trying to take all that stuff home, but I kind of looked in here, saw a few things that I might like to do. So I thought I'd get this one instead. And then as I'm sitting here flipping through it, it's like, what was you trying to do? You know, when you're at some place and you're looking at stuff, you have a different perspective of it. And then when you get home, you be like, now which one of these was I trying to do? But I'll figure it out. It's all cute. It's all scrappy. So I got that magazine. I got some fabric too. I'll show you that. I think it's in the Poppins bag somewhere. I'm going to show you a couple items that I just got off of Amazon, I guess, I got some vellum paper, which is like translucent paper, and I got it so that I can make templates to sit inside of my embroidery machine. Sometimes when you're doing certain things on embroidery machine, like continuous embroidery, or let's say quilting in the hoop, you need to start at a particular point so that it continues with the previous stitch. And so you kind of use templates. You can use your hoop things to do it, but it'll be better if you use a template because the template is going to print out showing exactly what's going to stitch out. So LOXO, VLOXO. I don't know what that means. This is some Chinese company, okay? But when I'm tearing down a whole lot of boxes and I'm using a box cutter, it just seemed to be a whole lot. So I went and ordered me, I'm not going to take it out and open it all up, but I will just show it to you. Or I can take it out, take this part out. But I ended up going and buying me some electric scissors. I have not charged it up, so I don't know if it's got any power. It is rechargeable, so I don't have to have the battery when I'm actually cutting the box, which is nice because I don't have to worry about cutting the cord. So I just need to charge it up. But that's what I got, was some electric scissors. And they were not cheap. But if you're having hand issues, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, you don't really care what something costs if your hand is hurting. You just want your hand to stop hurting, okay? So that's kind of what happened with that. And then it's got another extra scissor thing in case the one gets dull. And then it's got one on there with the cover. So I will charge that up and have it ready for whenever I need to do boxes again. All right. I still haven't showed you all Shop Hop. I did get my order from Checkers, and I wanted to show you all. I had, I told you I was waiting on the base bottom because the pattern company had made this base that goes into a few of their patterns. Even though it's called, what do they call it? They took the name off of it because it used to be called the Camden bag bottom or something like that. So they have renamed it because it does go to more than one of the projects on this pattern company. So I use this. So let me show you the back. I use this, which is Bozo Craftex is what it's called. Craftex Plus, I guess. Craftex Plus because it's stiff. It's kind of like Timtex. It's stiff so that you can have a stiff bottom on your tote bag. And I just wanted to do one. They show you in the pattern how to make this out of a square. But I just thought, let me make it off of what they made it to go with it to see how it worked. And it worked out very fine. I was happy I did not have to, do the template, curving the corners and all that type of stuff. I was just able to go ahead and produce into doing my bag. So that's one thing. I ordered a lot of stuff from Checker. I'm just not showing it because it's patterns that I'm going to be selling with the bag bottoms. I got a roll of double-sided foam that I'm going to be cutting into yard cuts for the patterns. And then I have extra stays for the bag. The pattern comes with one stay. If you want to make more than one, you need extra stays. So I bought extra stuff so that I could sell, because I'm going to be using as my demo. This is the fabric that I got free off the sale table. I'm just trying to clear out some of this stuff, but I'm not taking all of this out. Some people gave me their half square triangles from sewing flip corners, snowballing corners. And then I thought I was going to have time to work on a bowl. I just brought some rope just in case I had time, but I did not. I had brought, to retreat, I took 7 projects and I did 6. I was not planning on getting that far. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I took 7 and did 6. 7 and did 6. And then I brought rope too, just in case. But I was really good at retreat this year. I didn't do any recording because stuff was just a mess in there as far as network stuff. But I actually left every night before midnight. I was home it was only 2 nights. I think I was even home before midnight. I just decided not to stay up all night acting real crazy. I said, you know, I didn't take this machine to retreat, and I said if I want to come home and sew, then I could sew on this machine. But I came home and got myself in bed because I had to get back up and get back to the retreat center. So I didn't do any sewing at home, but I did get a lot done. Now, for those of you that I did show a lot of my show and tell at retreat, it's a video. It cut off in 44 minutes, so it doesn't have the entire retreat, but I did make it into the video, so you can see it there. However, you know, the video is back far so that you can see when people open up full quilts. So I will just show you a little bit of what I worked on at retreat. And no, again, because we're here in this small room, I cannot open them up like I can at retreat. So if you want to see them all the way opened up, then you need to go watch the retreat video, show and tell. So this is our book made for it was custom made for the composition notebooks, you know, the line notebooks that we get. Since I'm doing a year of CAFE, I just decided to use some of my CAFE fabric since it was already out so that I could keep in line with that, because my Gil projects came out last year before I decided that, and I already knew what I wanted to make the other two projects out of, and so I was not going to change that because one fabric I had made, it was perfect for the pattern that we had. So I made that. These are Gil projects. I made this quilt that I'm calling chicken coops. And I did change it up because my fabric was printed selvage to selvage and not lengthwise. I was supposed to have 5 of these, what I'm calling the coops, these red and yellow blocks. I was supposed to have 6. I have 5. And then this was supposed to be a little bit longer, but I made mine a little bit wider. And that's because my fabric, the way my fabric ran, and I knew if I tried to make this longer by putting 2 cuts, it was going to be very noticeable, because you can see how, you know, it just, you're never going to line up straight across when something is pattern printed like this. And I just didn't want the headache. So I just decided that this was going to be the size. So I had to readjust. I'm real good with taking patterns and readjusting for my needs, and not saying, oh, I got to go find another print that is horizontal instead of a vertical, because it's not going to work. I make it work if I want to use it. And this, I have been holding on to this chicken fabric for a long time, for a lot of years. And to me, this was perfect for it. And I like that I used the Ankara because I was able to flip the fabric on one side so that they both looked like they were going into the chicken coop. I know you say, can you open that up again? Just rewind. Just rewind a little bit. All right. So that was a Gil project. And then the last Gil, I don't know what the name of this quilt is because they didn't really tell us. They just told us what to do. And I did not make this in CAFE because I already had this, and you're not going to be able to see it all. So you can see this side. Has some of the arrows you're going to see, and some of them you're not. And then it's a rainbow. I made this for Jersey, I think. I think she's going to get this one whenever it gets quilted. I'm not in any hurry because it'll be when she's older. And so then it's just rainbow style. And then the quilting, I think, because I love the fact that it was modern, and I think that the quilting will make it pretty. So I'll do some kind of row by row quilting on that. I don't know what it's called. Hi, Janet McCarroll. Welcome. No, somebody called it Arizona because they made it for their son. It's not Arizona. But yeah, so that's the 2 things, the 3 projects that were the Gils. And then the 2 projects that I took, I did work on these. I'm not even going to show that because it's not done. But y'all saw that I finished my snail trail. And again, all I'm going to show you, this is part of the blocks, part of the snail trail. But all I did was sewed the rows together, and then I added a white border and this print border. And this same print fabric was used in my notebook, my composition cover, because it was already out, pressed. I had the scrap sitting there. I'm like, you may as well in here. So this is the same fabric in the border. So that was cool. And then the last thing that I finished at retreat, as far as quilt tops, nothing is quilted, is I got these blocks put together, rows put together. No, the blocks were already sewn together. I put the rows together and then added this outer border as well as this, and it also has the sashing, which is a whole nother issue. You can't really tell what's going on. But this is a scrap club project, you know, not for the, it's for the in-person scrap club, so not the online scrap club. And now my bag is almost empty. I can pick it up. All right. So my bag, I am really, really happy. You get to see when I'm sitting here close how tall this bag is. And I really love this bag. And what did I change? The only thing that I changed on this bag, you can see that I have a zipper, like a tiger zipper. I don't know what they call this zipper, but it's a specialty zipper. Probably from Sassafras. I don't know what the name of that company is, but they recommended that I use the By Annie bag zipper because it had double zippers. I used this zipper. It did not come with any zipper pulls, and then I always, because I buy zippers by the yard, I already have zipper pulls, so I use my own zipper pulls that I had with this zipper. So I did use this zipper because the By Annie zipper that they were talking about using, it was only in solid colors, and my bag was so colorful that I just, you know me, once I start with color, I keep adding color. I have no solids on this bag, okay? So this is a cape, so I did add cape in here, even though this fabric is not cape. I had somebody asking me what this fabric was. I did mention it in another thing. I did go and Google it before I cut the last piece to do the bottom. I can't remember what it is now. But this pattern, this fabric is no longer available. It was old. And I feel like some Teaquilters sent me this fabric because I don't remember buying this fabric. But I can't remember who sent it. I'm sure in some haul I showed it when I opened up mail. But I don't know who sent this fabric, but it's really cute. And the only other thing that I changed was that I did in one of my pockets on the outside before I put them together, I stitched a divider line, because I wanted to make sure that if I put something in here and I didn't want it to come out, it would stay if it was long. Like say I had a skinny ruler, like a 3x18 ruler, I could put it out here and know that that ruler is in the pocket and not on the inside, not worrying about it breaking. But I just put a split in here just in case I need it. And then my other 4 pockets, they're all the same as this on the outside. They don't have the split in them, so I can use the full pocket. So I just did want to have 1 pocket change. And then I added, of course, my brand label. And the third thing is that instead of pushing the tube into the fabric, you push the fabric onto the tube. And I know it sounds crazy because it almost sounds like the same thing, but it's a totally different. And it made my life so much easier when I realized that. Y'all saw me on here struggling one Saturday trying to get the handles get the tube into the handles, and I got so far in, but because it curved and it's so deep, it was hard for me to get from this point to all the way down. I did eventually do it, and then when I got to the second one, I realized, almost to the end of the first one, I realized that if I pushed the fabric onto the tube, it was a lot easier. So yeah, but I love how wide mouth this opening is with the stays in here. So it's a very wide bag. All the stuff that I just pulled out of here, all the quilts that I just showed you was all in here, as well as this bag here, which is a lot. This is my leftover fabric and my last project I didn't finish. That was all in this bag. And I had some double stick tape, I used a lot of that. And I also used clips for the bag. Hand sewing the bottom of that bag for somebody that has hand issues was a nightmare for me. My hand cramped up so bad. And I had a person who retired from being a massage therapist. She actually massaged my hand, and it did relax quicker than it would have if it done it on its own, because I would have been sitting for probably about 45 minutes, and she was able to take care of it in about 5 minutes. And then she gave me some neck exercises, and it was funny because once my hand do it and I keep using it, it keeps wanting to collapse back down. And she was telling me, giving me some exercises that's dealing with your neck. She said it's up in this type of area. And she was telling me how to actually do it. And it was funny because I could feel my hand, once my hand came back to normal position, and then I raised my head back into regular position, I could feel my hand collapse back down. So I had to do that off and on. I had to do that off and on for the entire time. So, yeah. So it was just a little bit of work, you know. Paige just came in around my bags at the door. She's like, later for this, I'm coming in. So let me put this up so that I can just show you the small amount of fabric. I got some fabric. It's nothing fantastic. I felt it was stuff that because it was cheap, I just bought it because I know I can do something with it for people that I might make quilts for in the future. Not my fabric. So I'm just trying to put these back in here so I know where they are. And I got to take them all to Gil anyway because we got to do Gil show and tell tomorrow night. So I need to have all of this. I don't need this. This is just scrap. I will put this right here. Won't take that, and I don't need that. And I need to take this back out too because some people wanted me to bring them the patterns and stuff so that they can buy it because they really like the bag at Guild. And this is a project I'll be working on, so I'm going to sit that bag over here too. All right, so let's take this big old bag out of here. And then I still got my retreat loot out. I don't need that at Gil. I just like to show y'all retreat loot. This bag is huge. Okay, right there. Come on, Paigey. Come on, girl. Paige think I'm going out. All right. Okay, so maybe the first bag was for me. Let's see. This was from Apple Tree. For those that went to Apple Tree before, you know they have the sale room. So I try 100%, unless it's absolutely necessary, not to buy fabric at regular price. I need something off. Fabric is just more and more expensive. We were in the stores and fabric is $14.99 a yard for some fabric. I want to say $15.49 for like Tula Pink. So yeah, fabric is getting more expensive, y'all. So I went to Apple Tree in the sale room and they had these fabrics. I'm trying to make sure that I give you the right price. They were $8 a yard. So I got 1.5 yards of one, 4 yards of one, and 2 yards of another. And I spent $65. Whew, it adds up quick. This was 1.5 yards, I know that. Kevin saw this. This fabric here is by Franz, and we saw this somewhere else on on the shelf for, I don't know, was it $14.99 a yard? I can't remember. It was close. $12.99 to $14.99. It was one of them. And it's from Franz Design by Stephanie Brattenberg. She's out of Missouri. I've been to her warehouse when she had it open. I don't even know if she has a open warehouse anymore, but it looks like a panel. And so since I'm here and I can't do a whole lot of opening, I don't know what's the top or bottom though. That's the bottom. I'm just going to show you one side and then I'll let you see the other side. But it just looks like a Monet painting of a rose in there, if you can kind of see that. And it repeats about at 28 inches, but I bought enough. It was at 1.5 yards that it looked like I had 2 of those type rose things. And then on the back side, it was mostly just blue of it. And I thought this would be really cute as well as in some kind of panel quilt thing. And Kevin saw it first, and it'll also look good on the back of a quilt too, if you just wanted to just slap it onto the back and you've got like a pictorial something on the back of a quilt too. So it'll be cute for that, and then you could frame out around that. 1.5 yards. This one I got 2 yards. This is by Free Spirit. Uh-oh. Hi, Janet. Welcome to the chat. Hi, Damali J. Do I have feet on the bottom of my bag? No. I do have bag feet that I could put on there, but I don't have any on it now. I originally was trying to do as much of the bag according to the pattern, except that I couldn't put a plain zipper on there. I was trying to do most of that according to the pattern because I'm going to be using it as a display. So I didn't want to like go completely crazy and then people think that that's part of the bag too. So I'm actually ordering more of that zipper so that I can sell it to people if they want it as well. But this is called Butterfly Fields by Sue Penn Designs for Free Spirit, I think I said. Yeah. So I'm just going to show you this fabric, and it goes with the next piece of fabric. I think they're from the same line. I'm hoping they're from the same line. They look like they are. This one's called Spotty. Very pretty. So I thought I could use this as a background to something. Yeah, so it's Butterfly Fields. And then I got 4 yards of this one because normally if I do something that has 3 yards, then I can use 1 yard inside the quilt. So I'm not just pulling this fabric out for the border only. And so this does not have anything to show. It's the same thing throughout the entire length of this fabric. So there's no need for me to open it. I'll just tell you what it's called in a minute. The other one was called Spotty. This one is called Rainbow. And again, it's by Sue Penn Designs, Free Spirit Fabrics. So this bag was for me. I forgot about that. I thought these would also look cute if I wanted to do like a series of bags. I thought these 2 fabrics would look cute too, but I do need to make a bag with some African fabric. Although I used this bag on that colorful bag, Poppins bag. That fabric looks African inspired, but it's not African fabric. But, you know, it'll get away with, you know, get an African print. You won't get this print, but you can get an African looking print. But yeah, so that's that bag. So we're going to Apple Tree. We then went to Hunter's Mart. I did not buy anything there. They had a lot of stuff in there that was pretty. I just couldn't find anything in their sale section that I wanted, a particular pattern that I wanted. They only had it available with one last kit that they had for sale, and I didn't want to spend $155 for a pattern when I already got Tula Pink fabric sitting here, so I didn't bite for that. And so yeah, I just wanted this pattern. They didn't have it, so that's the end of that. I went then to the store that was closed. We didn't, of course, didn't get anything because they were closed. And then we went to the other store, and it's called New Style. Let's see. I don't even know. Oh. Okay. So I purchased 5, 6. So I'm just going to round up, y'all. 5, 9, 5 and 8 is 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 25 yards of fabric. Spent $133. So she had a sale where if you got the remainder off the boat, she would give you 70% off the regular price. Again, fabric is like, it doesn't have the regular prices of each particular fabric. They write that on the paper, so I don't see that. But it's the New Style Quilt Shop. Well, I'm not showing you that. It's in Stover. This was when we were in Stover, Missouri. So, yeah. So this I don't have to unroll other than to tell you what it is. And I doubt that you're going to be able to find this stuff because I'm sure this is all old fabric. Tic Tac, created by Kim Schaefer for Andover Fabrics. Okay. So I don't need to do this because this is a background. I don't know which one I got, but this might have been one of the ones that I got. 5, wait a minute. 10, 20, 10, 18, 19, 20, 1, 22, 23, 24, 25. I said 25 yards about, didn't I? I think I said something like that. All right. So basically, so it was a little bit, it was 4 something a yard. I can't remember. So this is what it looks like. It's just something that I can use for background, a neutral, without it being white. Then I have a lot of, I bought what was left of this one. It's no brand fabric. It has no information on it. I even got to wash this because it's just dirty. It was dirty on the bottom of the selvage, like it got stained by maybe a coffee spill or something like that. So I'm going to have to wash this one. But I have a lot of fabric that I can do a red, white, and gray. Red, white, gray, and black quilt. So I thought this would be cute. And then they had another one, so I couldn't make up my mind which one I wanted. So I ended up buying some of both, okay? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's got me down for 6 fabrics. So yeah, this is number 3. I be trying to make sure I get rung up right because we talking and running our mouth. We ain't paying attention. Now, this is a name brand, and I'll read it to you in a minute. They also had this in a bigger print, and I couldn't figure out which one I like. And I'm like, you don't even have your fabrics here, so how do you know? So I got both of them, and whichever one I don't use, it can always go on the back, or I might find a way to use them both in the same quilt. You never know. This fabric, the bigger stripe, again, all of these fabrics probably are old, may not even be available. It's Michael Miller. Called Chevy, Shevy, and that's it. That's all that's written on here. Does it have a copyright year? Nope, just says copyright pattern number, and that's it. But yeah, it's just called Chevy, so it's just chevrons. I like chevrons. So number, I'll say that one and that one. The last 2 I didn't buy completely for myself. This one, I like text, and I only buy it mostly when it's on sale, but I do love fabric with text in it. and I had to open this stuff up to read what all it was saying. But evolution is on here. You all can't read because it's going to be backwards, even though it's right side up. It says engaging personality or innocent bystander. Has the word joy, simple joy, something, a human spirit, something about birth. I don't see it again. River of continuous birth. I have no idea what that means or what that's referring to. But that's basically it that's in here. But, you know, I make a lot of quilts for my family. I have a lot of ministers in my family. And so anything that is positive words and things like that, I like to put on the back of their quilts, because sometimes they use their quilts as prayer quilts. And so they're wrapped up in it. Sometimes they might be seeing the outside and they just might need a positive word. I got 4 yards of that. Well, it was 4 yards. I know it's 4 yards of that. This fabric here I did not get for myself. I might get a piece of it off of here. But it is an older fabric, probably Maywood Studio. Again, I doubt you're going to find any of these. It's called 1949 Roses by Jackie Robinson. So that goes up here. I don't know if they're upside down or not. I'm just showing it. All right. So yeah, I thought that was cute. And it's like, instead of white, which is what you would normally expect, it's kind of like this rose color. It's kind of like a red orange. And then it's kind of like, instead of white, it's like peach color instead of being white. So that's one of the reasons I like this one. And this one also, I don't plan to keep. I'll just probably take a little bit. Is some butterflies. Let's see if it's got anything on the salvage. It's Kona Bay Fabrics, 2015. They do have the year on this. I told you it was old. And design is just FANT-03. So I don't know what that means. FANT-03. So that's all it has. Right here. It has like a little watercolor flowers in the background and then has butterflies on top. So I kind of like the 3D-ness that it had. 3 shades of blue in the print is what I really liked about this. The different shades of the blue. All right. Hi, Ray. I need to come by your job. I don't know when I have time. I thought Steph had brought you your stuff over the weekend. Hi, Yolanda. Reza. Welcome to the chat, lady. I'm just now seeing some of these. And Delia saying, nice bag. I don't know how far back she is watching, but that's it. Yeah, some of these fabrics were most of these fabrics were $13.95 a yard, which is a crock of crap. See, they mark stuff up to mark it down. And then the rest of the yardage was $14.25, because you can't tell me in 2015 that fabric was $13.95 a yard. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, so you really ain't getting 70% off. But I figured as long as I was getting $4 to $5, I was fine. And then you always got that, you forget about the tax guy. Then the tax come back up and, you know, you got to pay the tax man. So, always. Deborah was asking me, was I aware the Benertex is discontinuing the fossil fern line? I kind of figured they were, because it's not as much of it out like it used to be. There was one store in particular that I used to get a lot of fossil fern from that we just went to this weekend, and they didn't have any in the store. So I kind of figured that it's going out. Benertex came out years ago. They retired, you know, like when lines were only out one time, and they never reprinted anything other than the staple fabrics, like your tone-on tones, like your Patrick Luce or Los, however he says his name. I don't know how he says his name. I think it's Los. Um, he his lines would be repeated. Kona cottons, of course, are repeated. But there wasn't, back in the day when I first started quilting in 1994, that there was a lot of lines you'd see repeated. Only fabrics that was repeated was like Joann Fabrics lines, wherever they were getting them printed at that time. And they weren't any of the fancy quilt line that they had toward the end of their season. I'm talking about the basic keepsake quilting lines. That stuff would keep getting reprinted, and it wasn't as much back then either. Wasn't as many choices. Um, so I kind of figured it was. We saw a little bit of it in apple tree mixed in with the regular colors, but as far as fossil ferns being grouped by themselves as a collection, it was not. And so I kind of figured that something was going on with that, but I have not looked into it. I ain't gonna worry about it. I'm gonna try not to worry about it. I do have a little of it in my stash. I don't have an excessive amount of fossil fern, and that's fine. But you know, I feel like they might be pulling it back because sales may have slowed down. And then what they might do again is another 10 years from now, maybe they'll pull it out again, you know, and by then I ain't gonna be buying anything, okay? But yeah, but that's interesting because I could see that it wasn't out in a couple of stores that I normally get it at. So yeah, but that's it for this. It's actually 8 o'clock, y'all. I'm on time. So I'll come back. I don't know what I'm going to be working on Saturday, but I'll be back here Saturday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time for 2-hour live sewing chat. So if you're not busy on Saturday night, make sure you come back and sew with us. Get your projects ready so you can just listen to me read some of the chats, sew, chat about anything because I'm sewing and not reading the chat. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I got to work on scheduling the bus. I thought I was going to do that today, but I had some other deadlines. Other things are coming up too. Had other deadlines I had to sit down and write. I felt like I was writing a paper. But yeah, I had to, you know, that don't just fall out your head and you get it done the first time. So I had to like write it and then redo it because something happened with the previous one that I sent. It never got sent. And then I couldn't find it on my computer. I told you, I didn't know that I lost any files. I just think that I didn't actually save it. I just sent it to the person that was supposed to get it, and then they didn't get it. And so I had to start back over from scratch. And I didn't know they didn't get it. And the deadline was Friday. And so I'm like, because the closer it gets to the deadline, the more stressed I was going to be. So I was trying to just get it done, you know. So yeah. But that's going to be it for chat. Anybody have any questions, you can leave them outside in the comments. Make sure that you hit the thumbs up button before you leave this video. Make sure that you come back on Saturday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time for 2-hour live sewing chat. Make sure that you go over to my YouTube page. And if you are doing the mystery quilt is basically very simple. We got 2 more types of block units to make, and then we're going to be putting stuff together for the most part. So it's very simple sewing. I will give another hint about the mystery. You're done with your scraps. So if you've been cutting, you've got your part 1 and part 2 sewed, you can put those scraps up. You're going to be working with your main, your background and your other accent fabric that I told you was going to be the most dominant color of your quilt. So you're not ready for that, okay? So that's going to be it, guys. You all stay blessed. Be safe, everyone, and quilt out.